Goal of this deck is just draw a bunch of cards, right? You see the card on your screen, Proft's Eidetic Memory. It says when it ETBs, you cantrip, and then at the beginning of combat, if you've drawn more than one card this turn, you get X counters on a creature where X is the number of cards you've drawn -1. So any additional cards that you draw, you can turn those into +1/+1 counters. And this shell came from Standard. For those of you who don't know the genesis of where the deck came from, I won an RCQ with the Standard version of this deck. Hello everybody and welcome back to another very special video of OTJ Pioneer. You guys knew I was going to give it back to you at some point. We could not end the Proft saga at the way that we last ended it. So, Duelist of the Mind. This is a card that I was extremely high on when we were going through the spoiler season, and to be honest with you, a card that I kind of still am pretty high on. I think this card is sort of being slept on right now. The cards that work well with Profts are cheap flyers that draw cards, and it turns out Duelist of the Mind happens to be a cheap flyer that draws cards if you see where this is going. So Duelist here, we have a lot of ways to commit crimes, right? We have the 4 copies of Fatal Push, the 4 copies of Thoughtseize, 2 Bitter Triumph, and 1 Cling to Dust. This is kind of like my 5th Delve card. I was going to play a Tassiger, but I've decided to go with Cling because it's a cheap way. You can cast it early to trigger crimes for Duelist, and it cantrips for the Proft's Eidetic Memory. Ledger Shredder, very powerful card, good with a bunch of 1-mana cantrips, which we do have, and cheap removal, which we also do have. And then the other kind of 2-drop here that is your card draw engine is Evangel of Synthesis. And the reason this card is so good is a couple of reasons. So 2/3 body can help block some, 2/2s like the Kumano Faces Kakazan and some other 2-power creatures that might normally give you an issue out of, especially the mono white decks. They have a lot of 2/1s. So blocker is good, the body is good, blocks well, and it also has evasion. So when you've gotten to the point where you're going to start attacking when you're turning the corner, because a lot of times what happens with this deck is you're kind of trading off early, but then you have that one big turn where you say maybe cast a cruise and another cantrip, and you make this 7-power creature, and you're just going to sort of kill them in 2 shots. It has evasion for when you're going for those big swings. So past the creatures, you have, again, the cantrips, 4 Consider, 4 Opt, pretty self-explanatory, 4 Push, 4 Thoughtseize, pretty self-explanatory, and 4 copies of Treasure Cruise, also relatively self-explanatory. The cards that you would expect to be in a deck that has Ledger Shredder and Profts and all that stuff. So the creatures, that's the interesting part. The rest of the deck, it kind of built itself at that point. One thing I really want to mention here is the vigilance on Duelist of the Mind is so important when you're playing with Profts, because what ends up happening is you play Duelist on 2, and then turn 3, you go Profts, cantrip, or maybe Profts removal spell, trigger the crime ability on Duelist, and draw an extra card. You want to be able to attack that turn, but normally with like a Shredder or something, maybe you want to hold it back for defense. Well, it turns out Duelist can do both of those. You get to play offense and defense with this card. So very powerful that has the vigilance keyword on that one is really big. You can also get into some spots where you have Duelist on defense, and even if it doesn't have a power, you can say, push their creature in combat to give it a power and maybe blow them out in combat that way. The mana base is pretty straightforward. The one thing that I will mention, pathways kind of suck, right? Now, the options that we have, even for a format like Pioneer, are kind of limited. We're maxed out on Darkslick Shores, we're maxed out on Watery Grave. Those are the 2 best ones by far. And I don't want to play a lot of Underground Rivers because we don't have a ton of life gain. So Pathway is kind of the next best thing, but I would caution playing the full 4 copies in this deck moving forward. The sideboard, as far as that is concerned, again, mostly straightforward stuff. Counter spells, an extra Sheoldred for the grindy matchups, Blot Out for vampires, Night of Dusk's Shadow, you really don't want the Amalia players to gain that life. Duress for control, Kaido for the grindy matchups, Ashiok Dream Render good against Phoenix and Lotus Field, and then Hearse for Phoenix. Again, I am very excited to bring you guys this video. I don't know how well it's going to go, but I really hope it goes well, so I won't make you wait any longer. I will see you back here in just a little bit for round number 1. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you could argue that the play patterns are not phenomenal, right? Like Vampires, turn 3 Soaring Ripper, Amalia dying on turn 3, Boros Convoke dying on turn 3. There's like every single deck in Pioneer is just trying to goldfish each other on turn 3, And then you have the other extremes, which are like blue-white control, no win conditions, kill everything you play. Blue-black control, no win conditions, kill everything you play. There's no mid-range decks. Like, what exactly is the mid-range deck of Pioneer? I guess vampires, but like they're just trying to Soar and Ripper you on turn 3. That's not a mid-range deck. It's like a really loose definition of mid-range. Yeah, Amalia, I guess Niv. Okay, maybe Niv is the saving grace. Niv is like actively fun to play with and against. Niv is that's the only exception. And Phoenix. I do enjoy playing against Phoenix. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. Isn't Sac mid-range? Yeah, but Sac's not really playable right now is the issue. Yeah, it's just like a worse version of vampires. I do agree with that statement. Took my Shredder. My Shredder. Yeah, see, like my opponent's just gonna... They're just gonna cast Soaring and put a Bane Ripper into play, and I'm gonna be like, alright, I guess you win. Good game. Alright, Preacher I can beat. Maybe. Cope. Cope. Veto push. I would like to attack with the Evangel this turn, so I kind of want to go Profts into push this. Hit for 4. I don't follow Pioneer, but Saga's one of my favorite archetypes. I mean, so I think I saw somebody on Twitter post, I think it was Vinny, who won an RCQ with Sacrifice. So people do still play it, but it's just, if you're choosing to play a Rakdos deck with Bloodscythe Harvester, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, I think you're doing yourself a disservice by choosing to not play vampires over Sacrifice. It's like, it's doing a lot of the same things, but it's much more powerful and much more consistent. This is the big difference. Alright, so we go here and here. Loot, discard, I guess Otawara, I think? And then we go counter here. Slam for 5? Maybe they take 5, maybe they don't. They do take 5. So they're at 4. They can kill the Duelist in the Mine, but that's fine because then we can cruise. Okay. They have to leave back 2 blockers, too. Waste Not seems mid-range. I would argue that Waste Not's more of a control deck than a mid-range deck, but sure, I mean, apples and oranges at that point. It does have some mid-range vibes to it, for sure. Bonkers. Crazy Marengo, suspiciously holding up a single black mana. Could be anything, honestly. I'll take a draw 3. Was really hoping to draw Spell Pierce. Okay, so they're at 3, which means they have to chump block anyways. So why don't we do this? I'm actually going to put the counters on the other Evangel. It's better if they have push, because this thing has to get chumped either way. Seven, by the way. I mean, I could have just went for lethal, right? I could have went untap land, push, triumph, 2 blockers. But that was pretty bad if they had Fatal Push, because I don't get to put a second threat into play. Or just animate Hive. Well, animate Hive's not lethal, right? Because they gain the 2 life off of the 2 vampires that chump. So even if I animate Hive and put counters on the Hive, they just double chump the Hive. Oh, no, I guess it would be, right? Double chump the Hive, they still take 5. Yeah. Wasn't it just last year that Pioneer was Boats and Rakdos fighting each other with blue-white creativity also being a thing? Yeah, I guess they have to double chump either way. Whatever happened to Boats, by the way? I guess it's just Amalia. That's what happened to Boats. Amalia kind of killed that deck, right? Kind of want to be mana efficient, so I'm going to do this end step. I guess I should have killed the lifelink token. I just need any way to draw a card. Okay, that's fine. They find 2 removal spells? Jesus Christ. Okay, well, that sucks. I'm finding 2 removal spells, because they didn't have one last turn, so their draw step and their blood were 2 fatal pushes. It's kind of gross. I guess we just have to kill the Preacher this turn. Well, no, I don't have to, right? Okay, so let's assume I attack with Hive. They go to 2. Even if they leave back 2 tokens, they hit me for 2, right? They're at 2. Then I just go untap, land 7, triumph a token, animate Hive. Yeah, I think that's a better plan. Let's do that instead. So exile one of these, doesn't really matter. Yeah, because then I'll have 7 mana next turn to be able to go kill a blocker and animate Hive. I can just ignore the Preacher, I think. Okay. It's tempting, but I'm not going to cast that. Alright, I pay 3 life. I'm animating. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. Alright. Game 1. That was a stressful game. Stressful game. Alright, blot out me. Blot me out, please. Spell Pierce can be good against Soaring. I don't know how much discard I want. These rest of these cards all kind of suck. Maybe Shelly. Cling seems unnecessary. Can trim a Duelist for those two. I think I'm not going to bring in the extra Sheoldred or the Pierces. Yeah, it's good against Fable. What would you cut for Pierces, though? I don't want to cut more threats, because I think I'm too threat light. I could shave on Thoughtseize, maybe? Or Fatal Push. How good is Fatal Push against them? It's really only good against Harvester, because I don't have a way to turn on Revolt to be able to kill Preacher. What if we tried 2 Piercer for 2 Push? I think I'm kind of into that. Just not being able to turn on Revolt kind of sucks, because the best target for Fatal Push is Preacher. Nice deck. What a great deck. Alright, good hand. I will put back the basic, I think. It seems to be fine. I'd like bluff Fatal Push, but it's stupid. I'd rather just cast my cantrips. I want a 3rd land, but I don't want a basic swamp. This might be a bit greedy, but... Okay, there we go. Oh shit, I played the wrong land. Whoops. I'm gonna play Profs first. I definitely played the wrong land. That was really stupid. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Are they a skilled gamer? They are, in fact, a skilled gamer. Well, rip. Rip. Rip, 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 rip. Our opponent is just immaculately skilled at this game. Extremely skilled pilot. We're saving our creature land from Field of Ruin. Yeah, something like that. So good. So good. You think they have a... You think they could teach me? Game 3. Are we having fun yet? Keep. This hand's good. This hand is quite good, actually. Immortal the 6. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Fuck. It's not fair. They kept 6. You know what? Fuck you. I don't even know if it's right to take that, but I think that I cannot lose to their deck if they don't do this. I think I can very easily beat their their mediocre Blood Tithe Harvester plan. So I'd much rather just not get cheesed. Because, you know, again, if we're not fighting over this, then my deck is just going to beat them in the long game with Cruise. So I just don't care about anything else. Give Evangel first. I guess we go discard Duelist, play tap land. Then next turn we can go Shredder Op Trigger. Right, yeah. Just decrease the odds that they can go Soaring plus Ripper. I could trade. Trading is kind of nice with the Cruise. No, it's fine. Let's take. So they drew Preacher. Okay. Preacher's a good card. Go Shred. Opteruski. I'm going to discard the second one. It is bad if they... It's bad if they find a Thoughtseize. And then I think we just hold on to the Consider next turn. We can go Consider and Cruise. Trigger the Shredder. But if they find Thoughtseize, it's bad. I just don't know if I'm supposed to keep the second Cruise. Maybe the upside of having the first one is so high. Oh, that's bad. Okay. They lose the Harvester, but... I don't think I want that. Just want to find threats. Threats not detected. Give me a removal spell. Removal spell or a threat, please. That technically counts. It's not quite what I was looking for. It's not looking great. Two cards that I possibly can never beat. Remember that whole thing I said earlier about beating them, like me being favored when they're not doing the Soaring Ripper thing? Yeah, I take that back. I do take that back, in fact. Not sure what exactly my plan is this game, but... yeah, not a great day for Profs. Not a great day for Profs. All right, folks, I'm going to announce this again for people who have not seen. Big announcement, Pog. Big announcement, Pog. For people who do not know, I have been reached out to, and I have a Modern Horizons 3 preview card. Let's go. Is Mistcaller too narrow for the Vamps match? Yeah, the issue with Mistcaller is it doesn't have Flash. The reason that Containment Priest is good is because you can Containment Priest in response to them minusing the Soaring, but you can't do that with Mistcaller because it doesn't have Flash is the issue. So it's they can just they can Fatal Push or Blood Tithe Harvester it and then just, kill you after that. So it doesn't really do what you want it to do. You get an email with a card image soon enough, yeah. Well, it's May 24th, so I still got 2 weeks before the preview. Amalia. You might win a match here. Just you wait, alright? Just you wait. Don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. Alright, I will pay 3 life. I will discard a Evangel, I think. Attack. Turn 3, 4/6 flyer coming in. Bloodstain's a bit annoying. Although we can still go Shredder, Opt, and hold up push next turn. Old Rutsty. Alright, Shred me, Opt me. Which one's which? So this one is the one that can attack, right? Yeah, okay. So discard Cruise. Okay, I'm discarding 2 spells anyways. And there's a big attack. 8-10 coming in. Just an 8-10, no big deal. Look, we're at least going to win a game, okay? That's as much as I can give you. Yeah, Proft is legendary. I think the card would be a little too good if it wasn't legendary. Okay, I might as well do it now because they can't cord. Well, they can cord for 1, but they can't cord for Wildgrowth Walker. So, am I losing to damage by any chance? No, because I have a 2/4 on defense. 8-10 Shredder is nice. Fauna Shaman. We don't need that. We don't need this. You're at 12? I have 12 in play. Came from the YouTube videos. Welcome, Warm the Bench. Pioneer Azorius Mentor deck from a few weeks back was super sick. Do you think the Demolich could find a home in it? Maybe as an additional threat if you wanted to play those over the Shredders. But I kind of like Shredder because it lets you dump the 3-drops into your graveyard to set up the reanimation. So... but I don't think you can afford to play 16 creatures in that deck. I think it's just too much. So you'd have to cut the Shredders if you wanted to. I thought they did, no? They had Rutstein. Oh, no, because it was Rutstein, Amalia, Veteran, Green Source. Okay, you're right, yeah. What else do we want against Amalia? I think it was just the Knights, right? We just trimmed a Cruise and a Duelist. Do I want Ashiok? It does shut off Cord and Fauna Shaman, but it just feels too narrow. Yeah, it's really slow. What does it shut off anything else? Cord... Fauna Shaman, I guess kind of Return to the Ranks sometimes. Could play 1 Hearse maybe. How good is Sheoldred against them? What if I cut Shelly? Kind of slow, right? And I don't really ever want to tap out for it. We'll try it the 1 Hearse. No. It's going to be a no from me, dog. Okay, classic Phoenix Keep. Classic Duck Phoenix Keep. Simply just draw the 3rd land, or 2nd land, rather. That's what I meant by 3rd land. Same thing. Pathways are great. I mean, we're already maxed out on other lands. Well, other lands that aren't Underground River. But you can't play more than 4 Darkslick, 4 Watery Grave. Speaking of, we'll take that. All right, my opponent has 3 cards in their hand. What are the odds that their 3 cards in hand contain an untapped land, an Amalia, and a Wild Growth Walker? What are the odds? I would like somebody to tell me the odds. Whatever, I don't give a shit. Now I'm flooded. If you don't dream 2-drop, you're a coward. I mean, you have to play the 2-drop there. It's like, the odds of you dying there are extremely low, you know? They mulled the 5. I guess them mulling makes them more likely to have it, because they're mulliganing aggressively to the combo. Alright, it appears we have not died. Well, now the question is, can we even afford to play Profs? Because, like, the greedy play is Profs push, but if they have safekeeping, it's rough. Well, I'm worried about safekeeping Pike is the issue. I guess we could push first. Oh, okay, I see. Push first. If they don't safekeeping, then we Profs. And if they do safekeeping, then we maybe Bitter Triumph. I gotcha. Yeah, this is a good way to do it. Okay, I like that. Now we can Profs. 1 counter, please. 4/4 Menace. Entering the red zone. We're getting pushed. Kind of rude. Kind of messed up. Alright, opponent's on 2 cards in hand. Wait, they added Profs to the Vintage Cube?
Bruh.
Why are we not doing that? I did not know they added Profs to the cube. Yo. Is that maybe the one format where we're actually allowed to play Profs? We should do that. Cube is probably more interesting than Pioneer, right? I mostly just want to open this card in Cube now. You want Boros Wizards? We could do a little Boros Wizards. Wizards. I wanted to try to find a creature, but I have not located a creature. This return is kind of really annoying. And I have Bitter Triumph to kill the Archon anyways, so it's fine. At least Cube doesn't have Amalia and Phoenix. Cube, but a restart every time you don't pack 1, pick 1 Profs. I don't imagine it's a card that people would take highly. Right? So their last card is Archon. I'm casting the push, I just don't know what I'm targeting. I don't know if the 64 Qs are up. I think I'm targeting Fauna Shaman. Although this is a bit sketchy if they draw... Well, I mean, even if they draw Amalia, I have the Bitter Triumph. I think I'd rather discard the Profs to Triumph. Maybe that was bad. People will catch on soon. It does seem like a good card. Still going to hold the Triumph for the Archon. Okay, now I guess we can do this. Just give me a creature, please. Creature me. Creature me? Alright, no creatures. Any threats, please. Any threats. Well, that's the idea, Hypothesis. That's how we get you in here, you know? That's how we get you. Turns out it is clickbait. Yeah, I mean, we've been going for an hour and a half and I haven't won a match yet, so... You can use that information however you would like. Need white mana to cast that Archon. At least we can kill it. Not now, of course. Funny. That's awkward. Alright. Kill... Okay, well, now I'm just going to kill the Archon and not cast the Shredder. Because then, if I draw a cantrip or any card next turn, I can go Shredder plus spell. I have not given up on Profs in Standard. I do plan on playing a little bit with it next... probably Monday or something. I'm going to do Monday and Tuesday Standard again. So that'll probably be the plan, is we'll play a little bit of Profs on Monday or Tuesday. But I have some updates that I want to try for Standard. Alright, draw anything but Cruise, because I do not want to discard Cruise. Come on, man. I said anything but Cruise! Profs plus Bronco. I don't think Bronco is good in that deck. What did they draw? They drew Fatal Push? Okay. It's okay. I will simply draw another copy of Treasure Cruise. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Alright, Cruise me. Cruise me, please. Yeah, Bronco does not draw the card. And even if it did, it would still be a little awkward because it wouldn't trigger until combat. Like, that's why I'm not playing Gix in the Prof deck in Standard. Wait. Do I die? Wait. They should probably attack here, right? So they get a 1/1 flyer and they put me to 3. I think we're going to lose this game to their mediocre beats. I could choose to not block, I guess, but then if they draw any creature, it puts me to 2. But now I guess if I kill anything, it also puts me to 2. Okay, that kind of helps. So, Shredder... Alright, once again, I am asking to please not draw Treasure Cruise. Thank you. Counters here, no attacks. I'm at 3. 3 is not a lot of life. It's actually, it's a lot less than 20. Cruise me, cantrip me, give me something. I drew a spell. It's a spell, but I don't want to play it, because I want to hold it for Shredder value. Alright, go. And before I get max punished and they draw a specialist or a return. I did ask for something, and I did draw something. Nah. They're shocking? Excuse me? I'm sorry, what? So they have Chord, is that what that is? I probably can't beat Chord. Yeah, they're simply just flexing their life total. Is the Giraffe deck viable? Which one? The blue-white one? I think it's still pretty good. I've not tried the Giraffe deck since we last played it. But it did feel pretty good when, Whoa! Reservoir the hard way, huh? Shouldn't have paid that 2 life. This is one of the games of all time. Okay, I'm going to keep that. That one I am going to keep. Go here, here. Now we can probably attack with the Evangel. I'm going to hold the Duelist for next turn. So I can trigger Shredder again. Is this Roots, actually? No, it's Amalia. They have an Amalia in their graveyard. This has been a long-ass game. I've got through half my deck. I was going to say I haven't drawn a Cruise yet, but I did technically draw a Cruise earlier. Okay, that's good. Do we even need it, though? I'm going to go Duelist Hearse. Because that'll trigger the Shredder, and I can use the Hearse to trigger the Duelist. I really just want to find Cruise. Not quite sure why I exiled the Amalia. Alright, counters here, hit for 7. I think we're going to win this game. Alright. Reservoir trigger resolves. Prosperous Innkeeper trigger resolves. Waiting for Coco off the top? No. Alright, I would like to trigger my Duelist of the Mind. Can pump the Dust Shadow. Combat Step. I think I'm just going to keep pumping the Proft. I want to hold back the Flyers. I maybe could have had some sort of lethal attack there, but I think this is also fine, just playing safe and holding up the Triumph. Alright, opponent's at 3. We got a removal spell in hand. Good luck. Did we do it? Have we finally won a match? Hold. Chat, hold. Hold. I need you to hold. 1 match win, folks. This is where it all turns around. This song is good vibes. Temple of Mystery. You have a Lotus Field Gamer. I mean, I like you, but not now. I think it's too soon. Too soon. That kind of changes things, doesn't it? Okay, now we just Duelist. We Duelist this turn. Next turn, Proft's Thoughtseize. And then we go draw off the Profts, draw off of the Thoughtseize, 2 counters, hit for 5. It's a good turn. Do you think we could try a more creature-focused version with looters instead of spell-focused? That just makes... I think that makes Cruise a lot worse, and it makes you weaker to Fatal Push. Because then instead of playing cantrips, you're playing creatures that you need to utilize to be able to trigger profs. And in those instances, you're just like, if your opponent fatal pushes your looter, then it's a lot harder for you to enable treasure cruise in those spots. So I think it's probably something that you don't want to do. But I see where your head's at. Huh. Well, 2 Sylvan Scryings, so no point in taking one of those. Charm that they currently cannot cast. I mean, I guess I take Dark Petition? I don't know. It's either Petition or Balagid. I think there's no reason to take one of these 3. Maybe it's Balagid. Maybe that was bad, because maybe I'd rather make them use the mana on Balagid to get back the Petition. That's probably better. Aren't you more vulnerable to Fatal Push right now with a bunch of 2-mana creatures? Killing creatures will fill your cruise. So, kind of, but like, the idea is, if you're using your spells to fuel cruise, then you're much more able to cast a fast cruise. Whereas in the other instance, if you're using creatures to fuel cruise and they push those creatures, then your follow-up like Duelist or Evangel is not going to be as powerful because you're not going to be casting the cruise as often. Like, I guess specifically Consider is the one that I'm thinking of. I don't know. I think that the idea is maybe sound, but I see where you're going with that. That's good. This looks weird. I'm going to discard Evangel because I just don't need the 3rd threat, and I want to hold this in case they draw Grazer. It does look a little weird, but... Alright, attack for 7. Am I dead? Am I dead? I think I'm alive. I think I'm pretty alive. Alright, alive confirmed. Ooh, we can opt first, too. I want to find a Thoughtseize. Is that lethal? It's 2 more damage. Every cantrip is worth 2 damage. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, I already have lethal. I don't need this. I already have Mega Lethal. I don't need the opt. Want to find a Thoughtseize, please? Can I find a Thoughtseize? So, how many cards have I drawn this turn? 3, 4, 5. So if I go here to make it 6, 12. Funny enough, it's actually not lethal if they have Otawara, because they just bounce Duelist, and I can only put them to 1. Yeah, we've drawn 5. Oh no, 6, right, the Shredder. Oh, right, okay. So this is just lethal, even if they have a bounce spell. Yeah, this is lethal through Otawara. That's pretty sick. Because the only interaction they can really have here is Otawara, right? Go, I guess, counters here. Yeah, so they have to bounce the 12-power Duelist, and then this is still 13. Exacxies. Exacxies. Nice Otawara. Attack. Yeah, you're still dead. 13. What's your life total? They could fog, yeah. Alright, Didge. Next. Lotus Field. Ashiok, get in my deck, please. Fatal Push, I would like you to kindly leave. Pierce, Duress, Stroke, Negate. I can cut the 2 Bitter Triumphs and the Sheoldred in. Folks, I would like you to cut 2 cards from my deck list. I would like you to cut 1 card from my deck list. 1 cruise, maybe? Couldn't they have bounced Profs before the trigger? Even if they bounce Profs Ace Sanity, then they still die to the Shred. They still die to the Duelist. What if I submitted 61? Deck's too good. I'm submitting 61. You can't stop me. It's the perfect number. It's the perfect number of cards. If you think about it, when you submit 61, you are more likely to draw good cards. If you don't cut the good cards from your deck, right? That's how that works. If you just have 1 extra good card, then you're more likely to draw the good card, you know? Is cutting a land or cruise acceptable? Cutting a cruise could be okay. I think if you were going to submit 60, then cutting a cruise is probably the first card I would remove. Wow, 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 wow. Darkslick Shores. Yeah, who told me to cut the Fatal Pushes? They have Arboreal Grazer in their deck. How do I beat that card? Which one of you folks in chat told me to cut Fatal Push? A little charm. A little charm action. They're on 2 cards. definitely not casting Thoughtseize this turn. I'll cast it next turn, though. In Naya Boggles, should I run Alpine Moon, Curse of Silence, or Silence? Alpine Moon, Curse of Silence, or Silence? I think of those three options, Silence is probably the best one, I think. For Lotus and Quint. Yeah, I think Silence is probably the best one. I think it covers the most amount of things. The Budget Boys. The Walmart Beastie Boys. Breeding Pool, Lotus Fields. Alright, well, I'm going to tap out then. Alright, Reforge has got a song request in the queue. I attack for 3. I will attack you for 3 damages. Menace, by the way. I think they're going to try and block. They did not. Impulse. That was their draw step. What were their 2 lands? It was Lotus Field, Breeding Pool. Okay, noted. 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 I probably should not tap out next turn. Although, what if we did? We could not tap out for Shelly. What if they impulsed for a Sylvan Scrying? Now we could probably tap out. We know they're 2 cards. They have Otawara Breeding Pool. Like, what could they possibly draw to kill me from 2 Lotus Fields, nothing? Because they have 2 lands in hand. Do I not remember this song from my childhood? No, I don't think I ever heard this song. I mean, it, like, sounds vaguely familiar, but just in more of a general sense, just because when I first heard it, it sounded like Beastie Boys, but I don't think I ever listened to this song as a child. I don't think so. Is it from something? Should I play at F&M tonight? Black-Green Vamps, Green-White Cage, or Greasefang? Black-Green Vamps. The Green and Vampires is for Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystic, Pillage the Bog, and Huntsman's Redemption. We spent a little bit of time working on that deck, and it's a really good deck. I'm a big fan of it. I haven't worked on it in a while, but I do like that deck quite a bit. What's with the resurgence in Greasefang, by the way? Doesn't that deck just have an unwinnable Amalia matchup? I've seen more people playing Greasefang over the past couple of days than I have in the past, and I don't really know why. I couldn't quite figure it out. Like Glissa in there? Glissa in Vamps? Yeah, it could be okay. Six blue mana. Oh. Absolutely not. Trigger Duelist. Give me a Duelist trigger. Oh boy. 2 match wins. Let's go. Well, I hope they're playing creatures. Never mind. We're back to the Waste Not bracket. Never mind. My opponent's going to cast Waste Not on turn 2, and I'm going to concede the match. Yeah, Pillage is good in that deck, because it lets you set up for... it lets you help set up for... Yo. Absolutely based. Let's go. We have located a fellow Proft enjoyer, some would say. Oh, they know things, all right. They definitely know things. I thought I was the only one, but apparently not. Laid over main deck Thoughtseize. Yeah. Yo. The Scholar. Not going to kill that. Yeah, I mean, that was the issue. I didn't really want to cut the main deck Thoughtseizes, but I also didn't know what else to cut for the 1-drops. You could maybe just not play the Lilianas. I don't know. I wanted to try to keep the Huntsmans. So, the black-green deck is good, but it's hard to build. There's just too many cards that I want to play. Yeah, it was slappy. Leja Shredder. Yeah, there's a ton of options in black-green. No! Not my Sheoldred. Anything but my Sheoldred. Why did they sequence it like that? Surely they will not take my Sheoldred, right? They will take my removal spell instead. Alright, another one from Reforged. In the queue. Ain't no way they took my Sheoldred. No shot. Alright, push this idiot, untap. Well, that's not exactly what I was looking for. If they cast Cruise, I'm going to concede. We're just too far behind. Couldn't be kind of fizzle Thoughtseize with Triumph. Yeah, but I would much rather just save the Triumph for a better creature. I don't care about a random 2/2, you know? Our word kill. Well, okay, maybe I care about a random 2/2 now, huh? We are extremely dead. Did they choose the wrong one? I can pretend that I can still win this game. Played the wrong land. Well, I do get to hold up Triumph and push this way, so maybe it wasn't the wrong land. Opt. I did not know that, Kevy. I hope he's doing all right. Do I have another Pioneer RCQ? I do have another Pioneer RCQ. Pioneer RCQ is tomorrow, which I think I'm probably just going to play the Boros deck. I'm still deciding between Boros or Phoenix. I don't know. Maybe I should just play Phoenix. I'm going to play Phoenix at FNM tonight and see kind of how it feels. But I have both decks. I have both decks built and ready to go. I think if I'm trying to win, I should probably play Phoenix. What's the Boros list? It's the one that I posted on Twitter on the Go Live tweet. Boros Wizards. At 10. Need a cruise? Cruise me? Alright, dead. Dead. Trying to win? Like a loser? Yes, exactly. Yeah, the Boros list is what we were going to play in the next league. Alright, we're playing a Proft's Mirror, which is kind of based, if I'm being honest. Her seems good in the Cruise Mirror. I don't think Pierce is that good, because all of our spells are so cheap. Discard spells kind of mid. Could consider one of these. I like Sheoldred. Ashiok, maybe, probably Kaido. This is gonna sound weird. I'm gonna try cutting all the Thoughtseizes and just focus on having better top decks. Alright, play first. Play first. This hand's okay. This hand's got some stuff. What do you cut for Showdown? The card that I cut for Showdown was the Case. All the red decks and the red-green decks are playing the 3-mana Case, and that's what got cut for the Showdowns. For my sanity, can you build the Boros Wizards mana base without Pathways? Why? Pathways are fine. I mean, 99% of the time, you're just going to play them on red anyways. You're not really ever going to go play them on white, you know? Sounds good, Kevy? Oh, you mean when I board them in? Oh, sure. I mean, it kind of depends on the matchup, right? Alright, please don't have Spell Pierce. Yeah, that's fine. Thoughtseize my Shredder. Save the other Profts. We have located the one other Proft enjoyer in the entire world. Okay, well, at least we have Bitter Triumph, I guess. Alright, Reforge with a song request. In the queue. Reforged is just taking over the playlist today. No, it doesn't matter which side you have them on. Yeah, I know. We've located the one other Proft enjoyer, and they have a better list for the Mirror. Do you think that they just have a ton of... For some reason, do you think that they just have a lot of people who play the Mirror match at their local shop, and they're like, you know what? I've played the Proft Mirror enough to know that I want to play Narset. So they're just prepared for the Mirror. I think it should, because if you think about it, no matter what happens in this match, the outcome is going to be Profs winning the match. So even if we lose, we're kind of still 3-1. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? That makes sense, right? Kaito Shizuki. It's not bad, I guess. It's not great, but... 4 cards in the graveyard. Do I want to cycle a Profts to put a counter on this? I don't hate it. Actually, this was dumb. Because I needed to be able to save the... That was dumb. I should have saved the second Profts for the turn that I want to turn on Revolt for push. Yeah, that was bad. Shredder. That is kind of nice about the second Profts, is that it can turn on Fatal Push. Even though it's normally not very good, it at least turns on Revolt. Would the white 0-2 from Strix be okay in Boros Wizards? The 0-1 with Magecraft, the card you were talking about is Clever Lumimancer, and I do not think that card is playable. Like, I would much rather have G2 Lava Runner because it's a better top deck and a better hit off of Light Up the Stage. Just having a 1 mana 2/2 haste is just better than a 1 mana 0/1 with Magecraft. Still know about the Power Word kill. Need to find a cruise. Cruise me? Quite. I guess we go to combat. Put a counter on this. Hit for 3. They might Power Word kill this. They also might not. Okay, and then we just push the Shredder now. And then I think I hearse them main phase. Keep them off cruise. Okay, your turn. We can protect the Kaido by killing the Steam Core Scholar, which is something that we probably want to do. Yeah, they're just going to kill my thing. That's fine. All right. 07s. 07s for a ninja token. Yes, this is the Proft's mirror. Oh, they have cruise. I guess that makes sense. The only Proft's mirror in the entire world. Alright, give me a cruise. Not quite. Discard opt. I mean, I guess we just go beatdowns, right? Do we put the counters in the hearse or the Evangel? It's 2 counters. I mean, putting them to 3 sounds kind of appealing, right? Alright, you go to 3. And then if they want to kill the Kaido, they have to animate the Hive. So the issue with Terramander is it conflicts with Treasure Cruise. So it if they line up in a spot where you want to cruise before, like you cruise into Terramander, then you just cruise away all of your spells. Now, if it lines up perfectly, where you draw the Terramander, fill the graveyard, activate, then draw cruise, it looks good. But it's just too awkward, because when you just draw the cards in the wrong order, and it gets kind of bad. Okay, so they're not killing Kaido. So, in theory, they're dead to any creature that can crew the hearse, right? Because we'll have a 3-power menace creature. Alright, give me a creature that can crew the hearse, please. I really don't. I mean, maybe a 1-drop. We've tried a couple of different 1-drops in the past, Spyglass Siren and Fairy Dream Thief, just to kind of help fill the gaps in the curve a little bit. But other than that, I don't think it's missing a ton. Okay, that could find a creature. Could also find a removal spell. That doesn't technically work, does it? So they have 9 power, 10 toughness, and I'm going to have a 10/10 hearse. So this is weird, because if I fire up the hearse and put counters on the hearse, they have to chump block. -2 Kaido was a win. No. So the card that I drew for turn was a land. If I'm -2 Kaido, I have a 1/1. The hearse is crew 2. And I'm not, if I'm minusing the Kaido, I'm not drawing a card. So I can't put a counter on the token to be able to crew the hearse. Because I need to plus the Kaido in order to get the counter to put on the token, but I can't plus and minus it, is the issue. So I can make a 10/10 hearse, but they just chump with Evangel and then kill me, right? Scholar plus Hive. But there's no way I can force the trade of Scholar. Sailor could be interesting too. I kind of like that Fairy Dream Thief is not... It's not repeatable like Sailor is, but it's like a cheap version of it, you know? Where like you can do the Sailor thing, but for less mana. Alright, so we go crew here. Counters here. Yeah, I think we're going to die. Because they just chump with Evangel and then have Scholar plus Hive. So I think we are dead, but I don't think there's much I can do about that. Just a little bit short. Should have hearse main phase in case they had crews. Not sure it changes that much. Are they playing Inverter? No, they're not playing Inverter, John. Inverter not confirmed. They are playing Splinter Twin, though. I don't know if you know this, but these 2 cards are just Splinter Twin. Okay. Well, I guess I'm dead to crews anyways, right? Because they just cast it for 5 mana. Or 3 mana. Woohoo! I believe I have died. Oh, right now they just have the land to do it. All right, all right, all right, all right. We tried. We tried. I think my big issue with Heroic is it just has, like, it's the best way to put this. It has a lot more cases where its draw fails. Like, if you draw creatures, like, too many creatures without any pump spells, too many pump spells, not enough creatures, you know what I mean? And I don't feel the same way about the Wizards decks. Coppercoat of Vanguard. All right, I think I'm going to shred here. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit greedier to shred. And then next turn we can go Thoughtseize Bitter or even Proft's Thoughtseize, maybe. Let's see what they do. Another Vanguard. I really think you need 1-drops and Profts. Yeah, I'm coming to that same conclusion as well. I mean, I wanted to try a version that didn't have them, but after playing a version that doesn't have them, I think I agree with you. Okay, so we can't actually Thoughtseize and Triumph because their things have Ward 1. So let's do it this way. Loot here, discard an extra cantrip. Have to take this. And then we play defense with our 4/6. Last card is Brave. They can Brave to get in for 6, but I don't think that's worth it for them. It's a bit awkward, isn't it? Not really. This is kind of fine, right? We just go Duelist Consider. Duelist Consider. I might even just discard this Bitter Triumph. I guess the Triumph does trigger Duelist, but... Then we have Push. Graveyard that. Now can we attack? Brave is 9, right? No, Brave only gives your white creatures protection, and Mutavault is not a white creature. Can I go counters on Duelist and attack? I think that's fine, right? Yeah, this should be okay. Then we have a 2/5 on defense. They still can't attack, and then the Cruise should just be lethal next turn. Cruise plus Consider. Yeah, this game should be over. Crazy. They can deal me 6 if they want, but I'll take 6. Mono white. Mono white. Mono white. Looking at these sideboard cards, and I'm not going to lie, I do not see anything that appeals to me. I guess Shelly me over the Cling? Sure. I don't know. Duelist has been good. What's nice about Duelist, so I was really big on Steam Core Scholar in this deck, specifically because it had Vigilance, and Duelist is basically a better version of Steam Core that only costs 2 mana. So it just seems like a pretty big upgrade to that card. I got 2 Thoughtseizes. It sounds way better. Much, much better. Kind of want to save Push for a better creature. Yeah, like that one. Their hand's not that good. I've seen someone mention Sleep Curse Fairy as a 1-drop for this deck. Too slow. I just don't like that card that much. I think it's better in Modern when you have the Wizard synergies. You know what? I'm just going to cast Duelist. This is a bit greedy, but I guess Duelist is bad because we know they have a Ganjo. But yeah, Sleep Curse Fairy is just... It's just not where you want to be. It's way too slow. It takes way too long for it to do the thing. It is like a reasonable body to put counters on with Profs, but again, it's just way too slow. Okay, so I think we start here, loot, try to find Profs. It's not a Profs. Guess we discard Watery Grave. And now the question is, do we play Shredder or Cantrip and try to find a removal spell? We still can't attack because they have the Aganjo up since they have a legend. But if I play Shredder, do I even have good blocks? Not really. Because I'm kind of in the same spot next turn. I can't really block into the Aganjo. But maybe it's worth just getting the Shredder into play and then I can double spell next turn. Just Shredder, no attacks. Oh yeah, no. Brave is not humans, it's just white creatures. Imagine. That's bad. That is an unfortunate top deck for us. They get to flip Githie into. We are extremely dead. It's their last card's Ganjo. Indestructible. Alright, consider me. Graveyard. Opt me. Is there any chance I can one-shot them this turn? Probably not. Maybe there was a chance I could one-shot them if I found a Profts at 3. So I guess we're not technically dead. If I kill Gideon. I mean, we know about the Aganjo, so we're not in a good spot, but seems like the general consensus of this deck is like a 12+1 Shelly deck, but the third creature is in flux. 12+1 Shelly deck. Yeah, I mean, some people do a split of Fairy Dream Thief and Steam Core. Some play 4 Evangel. I've seen some just play 4 copies. I've seen some play 4 copies of Spyglass Siren. Just fucked. Alright, let's go to game 3. We have to double chump block. I mean, they have the Aganjo too, so we just can't win that game. Alright, game 3. On the play. Yeah, you can also trim on Duelist too. I've seen versions that only have 3 Duelist, but I like 4 personally. I'm a huge fan of that card. No, I don't think you want Tiny Bones. That card's a lot better when you're turbo milling them like in a Rogues deck. But I don't think it's great here. This hand is nice. Yeah, that was exactly what I was thinking. And I think if I was going to play 4 1-drops, I think it's probably correct to have a split of Spyglass and Dream Thief. Because you want the ability to, like... I think Dream Thief is a better card, but Spyglass Siren does make your Fatal Pushes quite a bit better. So... you know, there's maybe a reason to play both. Maybe a bit greedy to discard the second creature there. So maybe the answer is no Evangel and 2 Dream Thief, 2 Spyglass. That might be the way to go. So I guess we Profts first. Try to find push. Did not find push. Graveyard that for Cruise, although maybe it's a bit greedy to not keep the land. I think we definitely don't attack here, although it's maybe worse if they have Brutal Cathar. Don't worry about the last league, okay? Don't worry about it. Maybe Thalia's Lieutenant. They still can't attack, so Evangel just holding down the fort, as always. Not finding a 1-mana spell there, kind of tough. I guess I should have kept the land, huh? This is going to look weird, but I think I'm just going to main phase kill this. And then fill up the graveyard for Cruise. No attacks. Turns out I got punished for bottoming that land. Not a great idea. Yeah, they still have no attacks this turn. Never mind, I stand corrected. They actually do have attacks. Now we kind of have to trade, unfortunately. It's a rough spot. We can't just take 10. Yeah, we got to trade. So, Duelist, Cruise, Rip, Black Source, Push. Alright, well. Edge. I got a 3/6. 3/6 acquired. Brutal Cathar. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we get a 1. As a matter of fact, we go to 0. Alright, Profts is not it, chat. At least the version that I played, we kind of just got dumped on today. Yeah, Evangel's probably bad. I think I would consider doing something like this, just to lower the curve a little bit. And I think Spyglass Siren, like, what's nice about Siren is it lets you revolt for Fatal Push. Yeah, 2 Siren, 2 Dream Thief is where I think I would want to go at this point. I mean, everything else I'm kind of convinced on. I guess the only other flex spot is the 1 Cling to Dust, which... yeah, the Cling to Dust could maybe go. This could potentially be maybe another Sheoldred. Maybe it could be another Bitter Triumph. Could be another threat in the form of Tassiger or something like that. But I kind of wanted a 5th Delve card because with Duelist, Shredder, and Consider, you have so many ways to churn through cards, and even sometimes Bitter Triumph too, that I just kind of wanted 1 extra Delve card. but Cling is probably not it. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you thought down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, YouTube.